Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of 7 Days to Die. It's day 69. And we are prepping the ground here for our reinforced drawbridge. Why do I hear footsteps? Hello? Hello? Thought I heard footsteps. At any rate, drawbridges are much larger, I believe, than they ever were in the game before. I actually put the drawbridge here previously, but I had to destroy it because you can't pick it up, even though I did stick a land claim block over there with the intention of, like, trying to pick up the block. Also, it's going to kind of be frustrating, but my land claim block is not going to cover the entirety of this space. I just kind of put that there temporarily just to see if I could actually pick this thing up. But I'm going to need to build a workbench, and then I'm going to need to construct a new one because, well, I couldn't move the old one. Because when I put it down so the back of it was right here, and it still overlapped the gravel up here. So, yeah, it's definitely longer than it used to be, and I think it's wider as well. I think they only used to be 4 blocks wide, which I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it, but I didn't realize that. So, yeah, we just have to kind of have to rebuild it a little bit. So I'm waiting for this workbench to get finished, and then we can crack on with that. And I have begun channeling this way, in that direction, to widen the channel out to 6 blocks. Same thing with this direction. I mean, obviously, I have a lot more digging to do on this entire project. I mean, it's just try to remember these early moments, these early days in the project when it's just a mess still. Like, there's just so much that we still have to do, and I mean, 169 days into the game, it's probably going to look a lot different over here when we take a look at everything. I'm still not 100% sure exactly what I want to do with the ground over here either, but I do want the bridge fully supported by reinforced concrete. So we are definitely going to do that. Just like this, like so, because I said so. I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to go with any kind of ground block. One of the biggest frustrations that I have in this game is like these blocks, like the ground blocks, just don't meet up evenly with these kind of blocks. I might honestly replace the entire ground over here with like solid concrete, like the whole thing, like make it a super like industrial type area where it's just concrete everywhere. And we're all done with our workbench here, and as you can see, we've got ourselves a little bit of a foundation for our garage that we're going to be building here, but let's get our trapdoor in place. I wanted to make sure that you guys were able to be here to see this with me. We're building some cobblestone rocks because I was doing some repairs to the stone because the auger gets, the auger just gets really excited. You guys know how it is. Look at that thing. It's just super excitable. I remember now that I need to get way more gas. I need to find a ton of gas at some point when I head back to town today. So I'm going to have to spend at least a little bit of time doing something to collect some gas. But basically what we have to do to put this bad boy in here is just kind of make sure we're positioned up against those blocks there and just up against those blocks there. Boom, like a so. And then this will come exactly over where I want it to. Now, I think we're going to actually stick like some like small wedge tips right here to kind of meet the tip of this. Where are my... There we go. There we go. And those would be like so, I think. What am I, on top of my motorcycle? Yes, I totally was. Although I don't know if we'll need these anymore. I don't know if we'll need these. You used to have like, I mean, I'll show you guys a picture. I'll try to remember to stick it in here of the drawbridge in Alpha 15.2. You used to have to kind of have like wedge tips that led up to the edge of it. Of course, I'm going to have to do this like all along the edge of this entire thing here to level out the terrain, even with the edge of the wall here. But yeah, that is basically our drawbridge all done and dusted, and now we can remove all of our support blocks that were underneath it, because obviously we're not going to have blocks here. There's just going to be a big open space. Give me the rest of those. Thank you, thank you. All right, so this is... Oh, these are done too. We don't need these here anymore. Perfect. So yeah, pick that bad boy up. There we go. And now it's just a giant drawbridge that's just sitting and doing nothing. But yeah, we are currently working to build up our floor in here for our garage. So this is a 12 blocks by 10 blocks. And I just kind of went with a simple rectangular shape because it's a garage. Like, it doesn't need to be fancy. Like, we're going to obviously try to flex our building muscles, as it were, with different builds that we're going to attempt in this series. But I didn't want to get too crazy just yet with this. I do, however, want to try to maybe do something with the interior, but I'm trying to think of how that would work in terms of, like, I want to be able to hang some stuff on the walls, and depending on the way that you do these things, it can get a little finicky. But I want to try to prepare for any of that kind of stuff now, and not try to do it after the fact when it's going to be too much of a pain to dig all this concrete out of here. You can also see over here, when we get over to this area over here, this is where our entrance into our underground bunker is going to be constructed. I'm actually going to dig these out really quickly here. And those blocks can just kind of stay right there in the middle. We don't really need to worry too much about those. But I wanted to do something at least a little bit cool and just have these like ramps folding their way into there. This build's going to be extremely no frills because it's just meant to be a service garage. It's not meant to be anything super fancy or anything of that nature. But hey, we're finally using some of our concrete, and this is where I really expect to start picking up some levels. Because I honestly, like, I gained a ton of levels, but I haven't gained a lot of levels probably in the past, I don't know, since the last Horde Night. I haven't gained a ton of levels because I haven't done a lot of building. A lot of the stuff that I've been doing is POI raids and like clearing stuff, but not a lot of actual construction. And this is where, I mean, you can see the experience points that I'm getting just for upgrading all these to concrete. Like, you just rack in the experience points. Zombies don't even give you like nearly as much experience points as that stuff does. So the kind of thing I wanted to think about doing, and let me actually get the blocks built up to the corners here. Oh, I love that drawbridge just kind of sitting there. I got to build a frame for it. Like, I don't want it obviously to just be the drawbridge just sitting there like that. Like, it needs a frame of some kind sitting around it. But what I was kind of thinking of doing is something like this, where we get our little rebar frame wedges here. And can I do on face? Would that work for this? How about you? Ooh, that was it right there. Perfect. That's what I'm looking to do right here. So what if we do something like that up, like, and maybe it won't work for the whole thing because I'm going to want to hang stuff from the walls, and like, you can't hang stuff from half blocks because it's going to stick out like it's hanging from a full block, which, I mean, is annoying, but it's kind of one of those limitations within the game that you have to work with. But I'm kind of thinking I want to do like maybe just some kind of artsy little indentations, like, I don't know, maybe we'll do every, like, just kind of a couple like that. And maybe we won't do any over here next to this, because that's not going to really work as well over there. And we'll do another one right there, like that, maybe? Something like that. And then, let me see. If we go across here and we do the same thing kind of over here. We're obviously going to skip over here around this thing again as well, just because I don't want to put anything over there too much. Well, maybe actually, hang on. I kind of like the idea of there still being one maybe over. Come on, what is happening here? What is happening? I said, copy. Oh, copy shape works too, Nick. Okay, there we go. I think it was like this and like that. Yeah, maybe? You guys are kind of just, we're live workshopping this build right now here. Let me copy this. I actually kind of am thinking, I said copy shape. Why is that? Seriously. Do you not see what I see here? It's literally... Oh, my God. I literally don't have words for that. All right. So, yeah, we can kind of get 3 even ones if we do that, though. I kind of think I should have... I kind of think I should. I think I should. So, what we are going to do... Don't copy rotate. Come on. Come on. We're going to do just normal rebar frames up like so. In between here. And this is where if we want to do wiring and whatever, which I mean, obviously we're going to do wiring because this is me we're talking about, and let's not pretend like Nick doesn't wire literally everything all of the time. You know, we can have it on the full blocks and things of that nature. If we get like pictures or whatever, we can hang it from the full blocks in the center columns, but then we're going to indent the rest of them. And we're going to actually pillar these with some half blockage like so. And let's see if we can just on-face this. Yeah, we can. Perfect. That's going to work out perfectly. And then we're going to have a nice half block kind of frame going up there. It's going to just kind of give a little bit of depth to the wall, so it's not just a plain kind of box down here, which was one of the things I was most concerned about. Like, I don't want to just build a box. I don't want to just build a little 10 by 12 box and just say, okay, well, that's our garage. No, I want to kind of give all of these builds some life. And the best way to do that is to kind of prepare for that from the beginning. Like, when you're doing this from the beginning, from the get-go, plan your builds. All right, and there we go. So we are now fully upgraded. So I forgot I want to do the same wedge on the top here. I actually had to, I only fortunately wasted a little bit of concrete upgrading those before I was ready. And I also want to do some built-in storage against the wall here. So we're actually, I removed these blocks here. So I can do some storage inside of the wall area there, which I think is actually going to be really nice. I kind of want to put some concrete reinforcement behind that, which I'm going to do momentarily here. But, I mean, yeah, I kind of like this. I think it's just going to give, it's just a little bit of depth. It just adds something to this, where otherwise it would just kind of be this boring box. And I love that. And we can put lights, like, on these slats here, so we'll have plenty of lighting and stuff down here. And, of course, I'm not sure exactly where we're going to have our ladder go up, because remember, our door is right here. Basically, dead center where this drawbridge is. This is where the main garage door entrance is going to be. So I'm thinking the stairs are going to be over here. And the stairs could maybe even go down over the top of where that where the bunker thing is going to be, because that can just kind of be tucked away underneath the stairs. It doesn't really need to be like fully accessible or anything like that. I'm working on making some of these construction boxes right now. What other wooden furniture can I build out of this stuff anyway? Oh, we can build all of the kitchen stuff. We can even build nightstands, busted nightstands, desks, barrels. Ooh, I can build those wine barrels. I can replace the ones that I destroyed in the other building over there where our bunker is. Writable storage box. Writable storage box. What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So wait, so what? Oh. So I can... Oh, that's genius. That's perfection. Okay, well. I just wasted that, didn't I? Okay. Whatever. I don't care. It's fine. That's super cool, though. I did not know that was a thing. I did not realize that was a thing. But, yeah, so let me make one more of these bad boys. That I didn't know that was a thing. So, yeah, we're definitely going to stick these kind in here, because rather than having the pictures, of course, we might paint these with a different pattern at some point anyway, so we might not leave this pattern on them, but at the very least, for now, while I'm kind of doing all my storage and stuff in here, why are you here? Excuse you? Hello? Why are there vultures here? There's like 4 of them. Oh my god. Why are you here? And I'm also a terrible shot. But I mean, we know this, right? Is this like some wandering horde action, but like it's a wandering horde of vultures? I do not like this. There's way too many of them. They could mess me up if they all attack at once. But they're not attacking, though. I don't know if they just can't pathfind to me because I'm below the ground level, or what the case is here. I'm not sure. Oh, I got one. There's still 2 of them up there, and I'm like, they just... They're not really like they have not like really tried to attack me that I can see. They just fly too fast for this stupid thing. There we go. That was some precision snipage right there. I'll take it. What if we did this instead? Where we're intentionally adding a different element in there to those blocks. And that can kind of be how we build our door frames on both sides. We could still have our windows here, because our windows are going to sit as half blocks. I mean, maybe we wouldn't do window block. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that still necessarily, but I kind of like that. Can we? Seriously. Seriously. And then, yeah, our entrance is still going to be here. Like I said, I don't necessarily know how much I like that up there now, because I don't think we need it. I think I'm trying too hard to stay married to what I had below, and I don't necessarily think I need to do that. I like it like this, because it almost looks like it's like some kind of cornerstone here, and I can actually paint this differently to make it look a little bit different, but I think we need just a straight block in this space here. And if we put a straight block in this space here, then we can do the same thing that we did here over here. Maybe. But then again, I kind of wanted windows. Like, but I can't put a window there because the window's not going to make sense there. Because we're right next to the door. So we kind of just need straight walls there. Nothing too complicated. I think I'm overthinking this, and I think I'm trying to overcomplicate the matter here. So I think we go with this, and we stick with kind of the way that this is designed here. I think once we button this up, this is going to look a little bit different, because it always looks weird with the rebar frame sitting there, so you always got to kind of button it up and kind of look at it with fresh eyes that way. I mean, we could still do like a glass block center that's going to sit snug right in between these blocks here. I love that we kind of have a lot of offset different things like that. I think it looks pretty good, to be honest. I'm not going to lie, I really think that looks good. This is just going to have a simple roof that we're going to have a ladder to climb up onto. Nothing complicated. It's going to be very, very simple. And we've got our windows on the other sides here. We'll have windows next to the doors like that. And then, yeah, let me replicate this door on the other side. See, I kind of love that. I kind of love the way that looks. And I'm really thinking we could even go one further. Like, we don't necessarily even have to put glass in there. If that's going to make it look too weird, we could always just put solid block in there as well and just fill that gap. And all it's doing is creating depth. All we're doing is kind of pushing that back, and it's just going to create a little bit of contrast. So it's not just a flat box. That's kind of what I'm trying to avoid, is just doing a flat box. The only thing I really need to figure out is exactly what I want to do here next to the garage door. But this is the garage so far. We've got our vault doors in place. We've got our big garage doors in place on both sides here. And then if we come downstairs, we can see I even put the hatch in place, which of course right now leads into nothingness. But that's okay, because I'm here for it. But yeah, we're going to use all of these storage. I wish this storage kind of over here wasn't behind the stairs, but I mean, this is just the way I built it. And I mean, it's all pretty much solidified concrete now, so I can't back out. And up here on the ceiling, up at the top here, you can see, basically I just kind of kept this whole thing flat, except for like some of these corners. I did use some of the wedge tipping in the corners just to give it a little bit of depth again. But then I did this here. This is just a solid block sticking out of here. I just felt like maybe if I just want to put some lighting on something, like I can just do a solid block instead of worrying about like building like curvature and doing all those different kinds of things like I did in the basement. I don't necessarily know how I feel about it. Kind of got to wait for it to dry. And I mean, once we get it painted, like that's the thing you got to kind of remember too, is like a lot of this stuff is going to get painted up and it's going to look a lot different once it gets decorated. But I mean, I'm loving it. It's a nice little garage. It's very, very cute. We can kind of start storing stuff in here. And I mean, this is at least going to be a nice base of operations for us to kind of start doing some work over here, you know, to start doing the work that we need to do over here. But in the meantime, that's going to do it for another episode here of 7 Days to Die. I love your beautiful faces so much. I'm so glad you took the time to download the episode, check everything out. I really do appreciate it. It means the absolute world to me. So please like the video if you haven't already, and please make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you have not, and ring that bell for notifications if you want to be notified whenever I am going to release new content. I am going to be working over in the bunker over at the main base, the Horde Night base, I should say, kind of getting ready for Horde Night, making sure everything's connected, all my guns and everything are full, and the next time I see you, it will be evening of this very day. We'll be fighting the 70th day Horde. I am kind of excited, especially after how well the last Horde Night went. I'm pretty confident as well that we're going to have a lot of success again facing off against the zombie hordes. But, I mean, of course, anything can happen on these Horde Nights. We've all seen that before. So, thank you so much for watching. You are amazing. Hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!